fucking rod his ass. I fucking shot his ass.
Welcome back to another video on the channel for today. Okay, we got some, you know what I'm saying? Look, we got something for y'all. Look, bro. Y'all been eating up these Cjax reactions over on the channel. Y'all keep asking me for them. I might as well keep doing them. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get the people what they want. So this video right here, we are talking about Saturday night's main event was nonsensical garbage. LOL rant. So here's the thing. I didn't actually watch Saturday night's main event. I checked out clips. I figured I wasn't even gonna waste my time watching the bullshit, bro. Cause I figured it was gonna be trash anyway. But I saw Bronson Reed showed up. I saw him showed up. I saw they're setting up a tag team match for Money in the Bank. You know what I'm saying? Yada, yada, yada. I heard all that stuff. I seen all that stuff. I seen all the clips, whatever. Let's see what Cjax got to say about it. Maybe gonna tell me about some stuff that I didn't see. I saw the whole John Cena R-Truth situation. I'm telling you, I saw a bunch of clips. So, this should be an interesting one. This should be a hilarious one. Cody Rhodes is back. We're gonna, you know, let's get to the video. Let's get to the video. By the way, if you are new, make sure you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We on the road to 1K subscribers. We are getting so close, bro. Y'all hit me up in the chat. Hit me up in the chat. All right, let's see what Cjax talking about.
Choo choo, all aboard Libation Station with Wheatley's a good I drink it deeply. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Dr. Libations is officially back, okay? Now, obviously, I can't lie, right? It's cool to see that he's at least back, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be on the show week to week again. That's nice. That's cool. But then you remember that Cody Rhodes had one of the worst WWE Championship reigns of all time. Number 2,
man, it was pretty bad,
SmackDown
man.
Sucks and it's 3
It was alright, I guess.
Number 3, he returned to set up a tag team match with him and Jey Uso versus Cena and Logan Paul for nothing at Money in the Bank. So once
so for this right here, bro, what's the big payoff they're looking for here? Like, okay, because, you know, obviously Cody was going to have beef with Cena when he came back. That obviously was going to be a fucking no-brainer, obviously. But it's like, in what business does Logan Paul have? Why John Cena should not be tagging with nobody. The way his character has been built up to this point with him and doing his heel turn work and everything, he don't fuck with nobody. He's here to get his, you know what I'm saying, go through his title defenses, get through the year as quick as possible, steal the championship, steal WWE's legacy, ruin wrestling. Why the fuck is he in a tag team match with Logan Paul? Fuck the story for a second. Fuck what they're trying to build, my nigga. Why is Logan Paul about to be on a tag team with John? Like, bro, the math ain't math is where I'm getting at. The math ain't math.
You factor in those 3 things, I genuinely, believe it or not, can kind of care less that Dr. Libations is back. It's good that he's back, but it's not good because he's doing nothing now that he's back. Nobody cares about a tag match with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul.
Another thing. So because we're doing this tag team match at Money in the Bank, now we're occupying both the championships on a big premium live event. Like, Money in the Bank is one of their biggest premium live events. It's like part of the Bit 4, Bit 5, whatever the fuck it is. Money in the Bank is up there. It's one of their top pay-per-views that they have. Neither the World Heavyweight or the WWE Championship is going to be defended. Now, maybe somebody wins Money in the Bank and cash in after the tag team match. After maybe we'll get some shenanigans. I don't know. But like I said, I do think the fact that there's no title defense, that hurts the card. That hurts the card, in my opinion. And we still got like, what, a week and a half to build. We'll see how this shit go. I'm gonna let the video play. I'm pausing a lot.
So we're gonna break this down later. Saturday night undercard jobber event, which is basically a glorified house show that has nothing of meaning on it at all, had a bunch of nonsensical events taking place. We don't even need to talk about the return of Bronson Reed, which it's good to see Bronson Reed back as well. I'm glad he's back from his injury.
Facts.
And, you know, of course, he's signed with Rollins and Breaker, which makes no sense, as we'll discuss in a second. But of course,
it kind of don't.
Things not making sense, the content being bad, I will admit, you know, there were a couple things in this show that I did like. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was all garbage, because it wasn't all bad. But for the most part, it was nonsensical garbage as per usual, okay? Now, fans will, most of the bot fans...
Bro, he always uses this picture right here.
Cinema. You know what I'm saying? Just stop. You know what I'm saying? Just stop. It's not cinema, okay? You got a couple mediocre matches. You got a couple cool couple cool returns, quote unquote, and a bunch of mediocrity and predictable, messy garbage, okay? So stop overrating it. We started off the show with 7 minutes of straight air. Just a bunch of talking from Joe Tessitore and the Jesse Ventura and and Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, just a bunch of talking for 8 minutes, and then we finally.
I'm sorry you guys had to endure that.
Got to the actual first match, which was Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn and CM Punk. This is obviously a Raw main event, not even. This is a Raw mid-card match or a show opener on Raw. This is not that good. CM Punk, basically the match started when CM Punk was tagged in. He hit the Pop Rocks, which was interesting. I know he hangs out a lot with Roxanne Perez, apparently off camera, so I guess he learned that move from her or whatever, but that's the situation with that. You know what I'm saying? CM Punk, you know, he's learning Pop Rocks. You know
CM Punk added some moves to his bag.
And then we get a bunch of nonsense shenanigans. Braun Breaker starts getting involved in distracting refs. Paul Heyman's grabbing Sami Zayn's boot so he doesn't hit the haluva kick. And then after all of this, while Sami Zayn is distracted with Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed returns. Tsunami! You know what I'm saying? Bronson Reed is officially back, so that's good to see. Bronson Reed was one of the best mid-carders.
Bro's about to crash out
by a landslide. One of the best mid-carders on all the company last year, so it's good to see that he's back. He basically, you know, mauls CM Punk through a barricade, and then while that happens, Sami Zayn's distracted with that. He goes to look over and then gets speared by Braun Breaker and gets pinned 1, 2, 3. Then it's revealed that Braun Breaker, Michael Cole talks about the animosity that happens between Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, how they were just at odds a few months ago.
They were.
That's a good point. Do they ever go to explain how this is, how they're teaming up again? Of course they don't. What we get is nonsense. Bronson Reed basically shakes Braun Breaker's hand and then hugs Seth Rollins, and we move on. That's it. They beat the crap out of CM Punk afterwards, and we act like everything is okay. But that is what the WWE era is. If you really think about it, Bronson Reed was just hitting Seth Rollins with 7 tsunamis in like 2 minutes on Raw.
He patted him up for like a good few weeks.
At War Games, they had a match at Crown Jewel against each other. They had a legitimate feud with each other, a blood feud where they were brawling in and out of the arena, putting each other through tables and equipment and battling near cars and all that stuff. But nope, we move on and we forget about it because this is just great. It's just great content. We just have to shut our brains off and just enjoy everything. It makes no sense and it's stupid. Why would Bronson Reed join sides with someone who he was just fighting with a few months ago? Really, it makes no sense. It doesn't work. Why would Braun Breaker settle settle to be Seth Rollins' lackey jobber and be a brainless hive mind bot like WWE fans to help Seth Rollins get ahead in the company? Why would he do that? He just won the Intercontinental title twice last year.
He did.
And now you're telling me that he's gonna settle to be a lackey? Once you win the IC belt, you go to the world title. It's a natural evolution of how the championships work in WWE. Braun Breaker beat Jey Uso last year. He beat Sami Zayn last year. Why would he be comfortable with sitting back and helping Seth Rollins to go beat Jey for the world title? It makes no sense. And everyone knows this. This is stupid, and it makes absolutely no sense.
That's fair.
Braun Breaker has to sit back and be a lackey jobber, and sit back and watch somebody else win something that he can easily win, and that he should be on his way to winning. And then Bronson Reed is siding with
the only payoff that I can potentially see coming from this, at least for Braun Breaker. I don't know about Bronson Reed, but from Braun Breaker, the only thing I can see happening, if he has if he gets, maybe, if he were to win Money in the Bank or some shit like that, it's like, okay, it's a little different, that's going to create a little tension in the group, obviously, the bit turn and shit. But obviously, I would say the whole point, they're going to definitely try to get Braun over. I mean, Braun's over as fuck. I don't even know why I just said that, but like, when I say get him over, I'm saying as far as like, it's going to be like nuclear level, like, turn on Seth, and then turn on him, and eventually they're gonna turn on him and shit.
And Paul Heyman is deciding to be by Seth Rollins' side, someone who's just feuding with him in the build to Mania 40. Nothing in this
I hope they're not a tag team, go for the tag titles.
There's no explanation or reasoning for any of this garbage. This is trash. But people will call this peak cinema. No, this is peak garbage. Okay? So CM Punk afterwards gets absolutely destroyed. Bronson Reed hits like a senton on CM Punk's back. Punk kind of lands on his knee. Bronson Reed is a big dude, man, but he looks like he lost some weight, so that's kind of cool. And then what's his name? CM Punk gets destroyed, gets tsunami. They hold him down. He gets tsunami.
He does look a little slimmer, don't he?
Tall, and that's that. This is the quasi-Walmart bloodline story, the Temu bloodline story that everyone thought it was going to be. This is garbage. Seth Rollins is not as good as Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is clearly a bigger star than everyone involved in this storyline, so therefore this doesn't matter. This isn't good on its own. It's not good if you add Punk.
Man, we need Roman, bro.
It's not good if you add Roman eventually. It's
bad.
done for. Then we get Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green.
Oh, my gosh.
Here from the match. Zelina Vega openly just botched the 619 and then straight up just kicked Chelsea Green in the face and busted her face open.
Is that how her nose got broke? I never knew that's how her nose got broke. Are you fucking serious? Zelina, what the fuck are you doing?
Top of the turnbuckle and won the match.
I never knew that's how her shit got broke.
Zelina Vega has had some of the worst botchy-looking matches of her life in the last few weeks of her.
Shout out Chelsea, bro. We need Chelsea to get that damn title back. Terrible, and I'm done. Fuck that shit.
This was a disaster. It shouldn't have even been on the card. She retains the belt, by the way, but nobody cares. Then we get John Cena versus Ron Cena. You know what I'm saying? This was easily my favorite part of the night. This was fun.
R-Truth is so crazy,
John Cena
bro.
Comes out and gets his new, his new entrance where he basically, gets called the Never Seen 17, the greatest of all time, gracing you with his presence, and he basically holds the title up. And then R-Truth comes out dressed up as John Cena. I audibly laughed at this multiple times because this was actually funny. Normally the comedy jokes with R-Truth get overplayed and overblown, but this was actually pretty entertaining to me, and I did enjoy
this. Was good.
I will be honest with you.
I saw a clip.
This match is meant to be a joke, and that's what it was. It was a joke and a squash match. So, it was kind of weird how it ended a little bit too quickly, it felt like, but obviously Cena came out later in the night, so it kind of made up for it in a sense, but not really. I mean, this was fun on its own, but this was the only thing that I could say on this show was actually entertaining and fun that I actually enjoyed throughout, because the match was only like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? By the way, there was at least
I didn't know the match was that short.
Match it felt like during every single match on this card. You got an entrance, add another entrance. 1 minute of the match, add no more 5 more minutes of the match, add. Then the match, and you come back and you get the last 2 minutes of it, and then it ends. It was just a bunch of ads after every little thing, man. It was very frustrating, but it is what it is. This match basically starts off, it's just a bunch of fun nonsense, okay? R-Truth is celebrating like Cena, doing all of his, his emotes, all of his little nuances that Cena's been doing over the years, throwing the towel out to the crowd, all that stuff, the entrance.
Okay.
And then Cena beats the crap out of him, is dominating most of the match. Then R-Truth tries to do John Cena's 5 moves of doom, and then Cena gets a hate, actually. Kicks out, though, which is good.
I saw that.
And then, obviously, Cena ends up basically destroying R-Truth, and he's about to hit him with the WWE Championship, but he decides not to, okay, showing he has some type of conscience, but then he basically...
Are they trying to play out... Okay, I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Are they trying to play out a storyline, perhaps, to where John Cena is starting to maybe regret his heel turn, and eventually, towards the end of his reign, at the end of the year, or whenever he decides to lose the belt, potentially he turns face again. But I feel like for him to turn face, somebody has to turn heel. Is Cody Rhodes the guy for the job? I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, obviously, but that's just a prediction. Just a prediction.
Low blows R-Truth, AAs him and pins him, and then after the match hits him with the belts anyways. So they're trying to drop little seeds of the fact that John Cena's, having a conscience and he might turn face again, which he probably will soon. But that's basically what this was. Pretty good, fun segment. I enjoyed this match, and I thought it was actually very entertaining. I laughed multiple times, and that's really all you can ask for at this point. A comedy gag is the only thing that WWE has to offer that's been anywhere near entertaining over the last couple of months of this program. But there you have that. Then we get Jey Uso and John Cena in a backstage segment, basically setting up that Cena would come out for the main event, because he says Jey Uso's like, hey, Cena, the last time I saw you, I eliminated you from the Royal Rumble, Uso. You know what I'm saying? I got 5 minutes, one more trash. You know what I mean? So that's what Jey Uso's got for you. Then John Cena basically says, yeah, I'm glad you remember that, because now that I'm the last real champion, I think that it would be great if the last world champion was a YouTuber. You know what I mean? That sounds like it would really ruin wrestling. So why don't we do this? You know what I'm saying? Or John Cena says like something like, I'll be watching that match very closely tonight with you and Logan Paul. And so obviously that teases that Cena will be interfering in that match later on in the main event. Then we get to Damian.
Man, if Logan would have won, that shit would have been crazy.
This match was pretty solid until the ending was absolute garbage. I understand that Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest have this feud, but this feud isn't good. The fans are tired of it. You heard their reaction of just feeling, they literally audibly gasped and were deflated. You know what I'm saying? They were audibly sighing at the end of this match. They're like, no, man, this dude walked out of the cage normally. No pin, no shenanigans, no extra stuff, nothing. It's a straight up Damian Priest gets in the ring, hits a concerto on Drew McIntyre.
I think even Jesse Ventura said some shit.
What is this, man? Drew McIntyre, after being one of the MVPs of 2024, we've been discussing this for months, and now look at him, taking a concerto. I heard he's injured in real life, though, like he's actually having an injury, so he'll probably be written off TV for a month or two, which stinks, because it's going to hurt SmackDown likely, especially with that garbage 3-hour runtime. But the fact is that Damian Priest is a jobber. I don't know in what scenario they thought it was a good idea to have him stand tall in this match and have Drew McIntyre knocked out in the ring with his head buried into a chair, but, they basically just buried Drew McIntyre for the 15th straight show in a row, so, I mean, what can you say at this point?
I honestly did not think Priest was going to win.
You know what I'm saying? I can't stop thinking about Punk. You know what I'm saying? I can't stop
Oh
thinking
my
about
God.
Punk. You know what I'm saying? But that's basically the situation with that. Now, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre did have some good spots in this match, I have to admit. I thought that Damian Priest was going to hit the Razor's Edge from the side of the cage. That was going to be sick, but they ended up not doing that. Damian Priest got South of Heaven and Claymore and kicked out of both of them, which, again, makes no sense. It's Damian Priest, you know, not John Cena. But anyways, Damian Priest kicks out of both of those moves, and then we basically proceed to get him hitting one South of Heaven on Drew, hitting a concerto, and then walking promptly right out of the ring, and that's literally it. This is a decent match. It would have been a decent SmackDown main event, but it should have had a different ending. You can't have a quote-unquote blood feud that ends with someone walking out of the cage. They should be going for a pin or a submission or to make the person, you know, either get knocked out like this, I guess, in a sense, or just have him like bleeding or something, you know, more
pass out, some shit.
This is built as a quote-unquote blood feud, but the build's been bad. Nobody's cared about this since it was announced before Mania, and that's just what it is. This match was the climax of a bad feud. It's as simple as that. Then we get to the main event of Logan Paul versus Jey Uso. This match actually started, you know what I'm saying, at like 9:52 with 8 minutes left in the show.
Oh,
so
shit.
Maybe, maybe 6 minutes of wrestling and then 2 minutes of shenanigans at the end with Cody and Cena, and that's exactly what it was. I will say for what they did in those 6 minutes, it was not that bad. Logan Paul and Jey Uso actually got a decent amount of stuff done in this time span. They did a good spot where Logan Paul did the springboard lariat and then got countered by a super kick. There were a couple of botches and miscommunications you could tell with the ref and Jey and Logan Paul. They were all kind of botching around, but it's expected. It's a Jey Uso match. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like this just happen. You know, it looks like there was like a couple
that's him. That match with him and Seth. Oh my gosh.
And it was decently entertaining. If
it was so
a
tough.
Raw match or a Raw main event, I wouldn't be mad at it, but Saturday Night Main Event only happens 4 times in a year. You know, so I'm expecting this show to be at least good or great or at least above average, you know, and that just wasn't this match. This match was, you know, this match was like above average. I'd give it that, and that's pretty much all you got, okay? Actually, no, it's pretty average, I'd say. Then near the end of this match, Jey Uso basically, he goes for the pin after he like hit a big super kick on Logan Paul, or maybe he hit a splash too, I forget. And then John Cena comes out, interrupts, pulls the ref out of the ring, messes up the count, and then beats up Jey Uso. And then all of a sudden you hear the music and Dr. Libations toiling around
Yo.
I need it. You know what I'm saying? Cody Rhodes is officially back, okay? So Cody Rhodes comes out and helps out Jey Uso, beats up John Cena, hits him with a crossroads for the 50th time this year. And then after he hits him with the crossroads, we then get to see Logan Paul and John Cena kind of like scurry out of the ring and run away after Logan got speared and splashed by Jey Uso. Okay, so Jey Uso retained his championship first. Then Cody Rhodes got on the mic after all of that stuff took place and basically said, John Cena, you've ruined enough. I have officially gotten my partner, Jey Uso. We had libations together. We had Wheatley together.
Yo,
we loved each other.
chill, bro.
And then Cody Rhodes basically announces that he and Jey Uso are going to fight Cena and Logan Paul at a Money in the Bank.
I hate that idea, bro.
There were rumors that Travis Scott's going to side with Logan and Cena versus Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Cody at Money in the Bank, but it may just be a 2v2. Who knows? Either way, just do whatever you want with this match because, quite frankly, nobody cares. Cody Rhodes, honestly, was only gone for 4 weeks, so there's nothing really to be, like, super excited about. I mean, it's only been 4 weeks. It's been 1 month. You know, I mean, their show's going to be bad with or without Dr. Libations, as much as I hate to say it, but it's just a fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, this Saturday Night Main Event was a pretty bad show from top to bottom. The Cena versus Ron Cena match was entertaining and fun, but it was like 5 minutes. So, after you exclude that from the show, what else did you really have here? You had a SmackDown match with Priest and Drew. You had a Logan Paul and Jey Uso match that was like 8 minutes long. You had Rollins and Braun versus Punk and Sammy in a nothing meaningless, nothing burger match that made no sense.
Nothing burger match.
And then Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green is one of the worst women's matches I've ever seen on a special, wrestling show.
Zelina, she got me fucked up. I don't know why she did. Why would she kick her in her face at the botching?
Really gonna do anything of meaning going forward? Likely not. I don't know why we're setting up random tag matches for air at Money in the Bank, but that's what you get, and you can't get upset. Well, actually, I am going to get upset because this show was unmitigated garbage. I'm giving Saturday Night Main Event a solid 3 or 4 out of 10 at best. Wasn't the worst show of all time, but it was very bad and had a lot of nonsensical moments.
This picture of Cody's cracking me up.
Bad matches, and then the rest of them were pretty much average level. Pretty much expected nonsense that you get from this company on a consistent basis. With that being said, I thank you guys for watching. Drink a sip of your Wheatley, have a sip of your libation.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you guys for
my
watching.
libations.
Wait. No, forgot. Thank you guys for watching. Have a phenomenal day. One love.
Big special shout out to Cjax, bro. These Man, these dissection videos that he does of WWE are absolutely fucking hilarious. Shout out to Cjax, man. I mean, like, look, bro, I just feel like the direction WWE is going as of late, you know, with the, man, matter of fact, we didn't even talk about it on the channel yet, as far as like the WrestleMania announcement shit. Like, they're potentially leaving New Orleans and going back to Las Vegas. That money is so, I said that money. That company is so money hungry now that it's absolutely fucking absurd. It's absolutely absurd. And you can tell that it's getting to the point where it's starting to even affect the content of the show. So we're gonna see the fallout from Saturday night's main event this Monday on Raw. NXT is on tonight. I'll check that out, see how that goes. Well, I want to say it's Battleground. Yeah, Battleground. I think the main event's what's bro name? Miles Bourne, Obafemi. We'll see how that shit goes. Appreciate you guys for checking out the video. Like I said, roll to 1,000 subs. You are brand new to the channel. Make sure you please like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see on the next one. Like I said, big shout out to Cjax. Keep doing your thing, bro. All right, peace out, guys.
In that night she be giving me it. In that night she be giving me top. She a slut, she be giving me slap. I don't care if she stop or not, cause that little hoe know she a thot.